This will be a continuation of the discussion that we had about the cell types, since we did not finish the discussion about the four different types of tissues. So again, we have animal tissue. We have tissue is the group of cells which carry out specific functions which work together to support the human as life. Okay, so we have the germ layer, endo, meso, and ecto. Okay, it can be found in the early embryonic development. Okay, especially in gastrola. Kaya nga we have what we call gastralization. In histology, this is the study of tissues. Histos means tissue, doja means study. So, in the development of um, early study about the tissue, it will not be successful without the help of the pioneers in microscopy. We have Hans Janssen and Zacharias Janssen, and we also have the father of microscopy, which is Anton van Leeuwenhoek. So Leeuwenhoek tried to again study, okay, with the use of stain, but eventually he did not succeed. The one who succeeded was Joseph von Gerlach. He is the pioneer for the histological staining. And we have four different types of tissues. We have epithelial, which is for covering, nervous for control and communication, muscle for movement, and lastly, connective for providing and support. Epithelial tissue, this covers the body. So we have two types, the covering and lining epithelium and glandular epithelium. And in covering, we have this are avascular, meaning this no blood vessels. Kaya nga, di ba, sometimes kapag na-scratch yung skin natin, hindi siya agad-agad dudugo. So, meron lang siyang matatanggal na onting balat. Okay, so those are your covering. So, wala siyang blood vessels, that's why hindi siya dumugo. And covering lining epithelium, that is based on the shape and layering. Tandaan po, shape and layering. Shape, we have three: squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. Squamous, flat; cuboidal, box-like; and columnar, they are tall. Okay, so in layering naman, first, one layer we have simple, multiple layer we have stratified, and a what we call the special type of layering, we have pseudostratified. What do I mean by pseudostratified? Mostly one layer, but it consists of cells with different shapes and sizes. Now let's continue with naming. And naming po, we use first name as the layer, and the last name is the shape. So we have simple squamous, meaning one layer with scale-like. So we can find it in our alveoli and blood vessels. We also have simple cuboidal, meaning one layer with box-like appearance. It can be found in our kidney and our glands. Okay, glands. We also have simple columnar, which can be found in our small intestine and uterus. So they are column-like appearance. One layer with column-like appearance. Okay, we have stratified, multiple layers. Stratified squamous, this is usually common in skin, in mouth, and esophagus. And we also have stratified cuboidal, which can be found in our sweat and mammary glands, okay, which functions as a protective tissue. So we also have stratified columnar, functions as secretion and protection, which can be found in our male urethra and large gland ducts, stratified columnar. And we have a special type, pseudostratified columnar, again, pseudostratified columnar, which can be found in our trachea and in our bronchi. So this consists of a single layer with irregular shape and different sizes of columnar cell. Again, which can be found in our bronchi and trachea. And we also have another type of stratified. We have transitional. In this transitional, I want you to take note that this is changes shape when it is stretched. Example, in our bladder and in our ureters. Okay po. So those are for covering and lining. Glandular epithelium for production and secretion. When we say endocrine, nasa loob. It secretes hormones and bloodstreams. But when we say exocrine, this is outside. So secretion outside, which leaves the body. For example, sweat, saliva, mucus, stomach acid, milk if it's lactating. And okay, after epithelial, which is for covering and lining, we also have nervous. Nervous is for our control and communication. In nervous tissue, these are specialized in generating and transmitting electrical impulses. Those impulses carries information which will now then be delivered throughout in our body. Neurons, okay, they carry messages throughout the body, and these are the cells again which have impulses. And when we say neuroglials or glials po are cells which do not have electrical impulses, meaning po they just function as protector as tawag dito, nurse for neurons, again nurse for neurons. In neurons po, we have parts. We have different parts, cell body, pero we're going to focus with the three: cell body, dendrites, and axon. Cell body is where the nucleus is located. Dendrites is the extension or the branching, and also the axon is the long extension. And as you can see, we have also here a Schwann cells. Schwann cells, itong mga purple. And this one, itong yellow, these are the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath, this acts as a protection for the proper flow of the electrical impulses in each neuron. So para siyang like the electricity na yung covering ng electricity for better flow of the electricity. Okay? So those are the different parts of a neuron. Now, nervous system, we all know, this primary for control center, transmit signal, and coordinate action. When we say central nervous system, primary composed of brain and spinal cord, this is the command center. And when we say peripheral, this connects the central nervous system to all the different parts of the body. The main divisions, when we say somatic, this is voluntary. Autonomic means involuntary. So example of involuntary is the heartbeat or the pumping of the blood of the heart, the breathing. Okay. All right, after nervous system, we also have muscle tissue. Muscles for movement. Okay, muscle tissues for movement. And we have three major types of muscle tissue. The first one is skeletal. These are striated, meaning meron po mga lines. And these are multinucleated. Again, multinucleated. And they are attached to the bones. Again, they are attached to the bones. And we also have cardiac. Cardiac po, they are still striated, meron pong mga lines, pero hindi po siya multinucleated. Again, these are not multinucleated, but meron po siyang structure ng branching. Okay, may mga branching po na nangyayari. And also, lastly is smooth. Okay, when you say cardiac, always yan. Okay, nasaan? Sa heart. And smooth muscle, this can be found in our stomach, okay, in our digestive system, the intestine, the blood vessels, and the bladder, where they help to move substances through the systems. Okay, they do not have striations, kaya nga tinawag na smooth. Okay po. So they operate involuntarily. Okay, and last one. Okay, let's proceed with connective tissue. Connective tissue, this is the most abundant, meaning po na the most abundant is they consist of all. Okay, sila ang pinaka marami. Without connective tissue, siguro ang ating katawan ay detachable. Okay, hindi rin magkakaroon ng movement kasi nga walang connective tissue. So this is what holds the cells together and supports the body. So this connective tissue, these are made up of cells which are suspended in a what we call extracellular matrix. Now, sino si extracellular matrix? In extracellular matrix, these are composed of two major components, the ground substance and the fibers. Si ground substance, ito na tinatawag na natin siyang ECM mismo, the extracellular matrix. Why? Um, just imagine extracellular matrix na para siyang jelly or the gelatin. In which kapag may gelatin kayo, kapag tumigas na siya, naging solid na siya, kapag before siya tumigas, naglagay ka ng mga design in the middle ng mga kung anong um, ingredient na linagay mo. So therefore, kapag tumigas siya, hindi siya gagalaw at hindi siya maging palutang-mulutang at mag-change ng posisyon. So that's the major function of extracellular matrix. It is there to hold the cells together. And also, it determines the characteristic of a connective tissue. Why? Kasi nakadepende po sa ECM again kung ano ang magiging characteristic ng isang connective tissue. For example, bones. Bones are specialized connective tissue. And the matrix po over the ECM of the bones are hard because it is made of or it contains minerals. Again, bones are hard because the ECM is hard or solid. Cartilage is specialized connective tissue. And since cartilage acts as a cushion, the matrix of cartilage is flexible. And lastly, specialized tissue, we had blood. Specialized connective tissue, we have the blood. As you all know, blood is a liquid plasma. The plasma blood that we all know is the clear, or sometimes it appears to be yellowish in color. That's the blood, the plasma, um, the blood plasma. Okay, so the matrix of the blood is liquid. Okay, liquid. Now, let's proceed with fibers. There are three major fibers. We have collagen, elastic, and reticular. In collagen, this is the strongest. So if we look at it in microscopic level, napaka-thick niya comparing with elastic and reticular. And since collagen fibers are the strongest, okay, they are strong. Okay, this is responsible or can be found in our ligaments and especially in our skin. Kaya nga 'di ba may mga ini-intake na collagen drink or may mga ini-inject na collagen for the tawag dito, for to avoid the sagging of the skin para hindi siya saggy. Okay, hindi siya saggy. And also para mawala yung mga wrinkles in our face. Okay, wrinkles. So that's the primary function of collagen for the um tawag dito, in the sagging of the skin. So as we get older, the production of the collagen fibers in our body decreases. Kaya nga lahat ng tumatanda is nagkakaroon ng sagging skin. Okay? And we also have elastic fibers. Elastic fibers are flexible. So they are thinner comparing with collagen fibers, and they are present in the arteries and in our lungs. And lastly, we have reticular fibers. This forms the supported framework for organs. So if we look at it in a microscopic level, nagkakaroon siya ng mga branching. It connects together the other fibers. Ayan. So nagkakaroon ng branching or connection. So we can find it in liver and our spleen. In reticular fibers also, this is the thinnest. The thinnest, and minsan po, short lang po siyang mga fiber. Short. Kasi nga, nagkakaroon ng branching. So, connecting na lang with the different fibers. Okay. Now, medyo marami po with connective tissue. Okay. We have two major types of connective tissue. The connective tissue proper, tapos yung specialized. Okay. So, let's start with connective tissue proper. In connective tissue proper, this is a connective tissue in which fibroblasts are present. Pag sinabi pong fibroblast, this is responsible for synthesizing protein fibers for the matrix. Throughout the discussion po, may mga mababasa kayo dyan na pare-paras naman yung umpisa ng word pero magkakaiba yung last words. So, start tayo with blast. Pag sinabing blast po, ibig sabihin immature. Pag sinabing immature po, it is still forming. Again, forming. Pero pag sinabi po nating class, kabaliktaran po ito. So, nagkakaroon ng breaking down. This is class. Now, next natin at yung last natin is the site. Ayan, site. Ayan. So, pwede siya maging fibroblast, fibroclast, fibrocyte. Ang meaning ng fibroblast, again, synthesizing. Nagfo-form pa lang, ibig sabihin, immature. Pero pag class, kabaliktaran ni blast, breaking down. Kapag site naman, this is mature. Ibig sabihin, na-form na. Andyan na. Okay? Site. So, ayan. So, blast, class, and site. So, sana hindi nyo siya mapag-bali-baliktad. Kasi makikita nyo siya all throughout our discussion. Okay? So, again, fibroblast cells are responsible for synthesizing protein fibers na kailangan nino ng ating matrix. Again, ng ating matrix. Now, here are two different types of connective tissue proper. We have the loose and the dense. From the word loose, ibig sabihin po, mas marami po ang kanyang ground substance comparing with the fiber. Again, mas marami ang ground substance comparing with the fibers. Also, the arrangement of the fibers is irregular. Kung saan-saan. Kalat-kalat. Okay, so mas marami ang ground substance comparing with the fiber. So we have different types of loose connective tissue. Pag sinabi po nating adipose, this is commonly known as fat. So pag may nabasa kayong adipose, that is fat. So ibig sabihin, it stores energy. Stores energy, and that fat cells are responsible for specialized lipid storage. And it also cushions and protects the organs. Again, adipose fat. Now, this is an example in a microscopic view. And next, we have areolar. In areolar tissue po, this is the most common form. And this can be found in our skin, in our mucous membrane. So this is also found in blood vessels and other internal organs where the primary function is for linking and supporting the different organs. Areolar, the most common. And, ayan. Okay. Now we also have reticular. And reticular, this is composed from the term reticular tissue, reticular protein fibers. So this makes up the skeleton, okay, and for the lymphatic and WBC or the white blood cell. So this is found in our spleen and other lymphatic system structures. When we say lymphatic po, they filter for filtering processes. Lymphatic. Okay po, lymphatic. Or lymphatic. Lymphatic. Sobra akong tatic. Okay. Okay, this is an example of a reticular loose connective tissue. Okay. Now, let's have naman po the dense. Pag si loose is maraming ground substance and konting fiber, si dense naman kabaliktaran. Ibig sabihin, this is characterized by high density of collagen fibers providing strength and resistance to stress. Now, when we say dense regular po, again, when we say dense regular, this consists of a collagen fibers, okay, mostly collagen fibers that runs in the same direction. Ibig sabihin po, parallel, same direction. Kaya nga tinawag nating regular. Example of this one are the muscle tendons. Pag sinabi po nating muscle tendons or the tendons are what the muscles and the muscles and the bones. Okay? It connects the muscles to the bones. Pero pag sinabing ligaments, bone to bone. Kapag sinabing cartilage, cushion in between the bones. Again, cushion in between the bones. So that is dense regular. Now, when we say dense irregular, this contains collagen and elastic fibers. Irregular, ibig sabihin yung direction niya is in all different direction. Again, all different direction. So the example of that one is the dermis of our skin. Again, the dermis of our skin. Dense, irregular. And last one, we have elastic. From the word elastic, of course, it contains elastic fibers. Okay, this is made up of freely branching elastic fibers with fibroblasts in the spaces between the fibers. So this allows the kind of stretch that is found in the walls of arteries. Again, stretching, elastic. So those are again the types in connective tissue proper. Okay? And also we have specialized. Ayan. Start tayo with specialized. So these are, pag sinabi kasing specialized, they are not the normal. Kaya nga sinabing special kasi they have the specific function na kinakailangan nilang gawin. Kasi kung wala yon, okay, kulang. Kaya nagkaroon ng specialized connective tissue. And number one of that one is cartilage. Again, si cartilage, this is supports and provides, okay, provides support. Ayan. So again, sa cartilage, matatagpuan siya in between the bones. It acts as a cushion. Again, cushion. Bakit nga ba may cartilage in between the bones? Pagdikitin nyo yung dalawa yung fist, yung kamao, fist, pagdikitin nyo. 'Di ba as we move, 'di ba kasi nagkakaroon ng movement, kaya nga nyo na nabebend yung arms nyo. Kaya nyo nabebend yung arms nyo. Kapag there's a continuous movement doon sa fist, na pagdikit nyo na ba yung dalawa yung fist, yung dalawa yung kamao, pagdikitin nyo, para nyo babanggain. Now, in between yan, kapag ginalaw mo ng ginalaw, di ba magkakaroon yan, pag nagkakaroon ng kiskisan dyan, nagkakaroon ng friction. Pag nagkaroon ng friction dyan, maaapektuhan of course yung mismong bone. So therefore, kailangan niya ng fusion, kaya kailangan niya ng papagitna para yung ma-reduce yung friction na meron. And also, cartilage also absorbs the shock na pinoproduce ng dalawang bone na yun. Okay? So that is how important cartilage is. So there are actually three types of cartilage. We have hyaline. It contains collagen that are found in our nose. Okay, hyaline contains collagen which can be found in our nose. Elastic naman, since that is elastic, it can be found in our ears. In our ears. And also fibrocartilage, ito yung strong, pinaka-tough. So therefore, ito yung responsible for cushioning of the knee. Okay, tuhod. Okay, tuhod. Kasi 'di ba gamit na gamit natin ang ating tuhod. So kailangan yung fiber na nandyan is strong din. So nandyan si collagen fiber. Okay. So that is about cartilage. Now let's have the bone. Bone is the hardest connective tissue because of its matrix, which is solid or hard. Now, this bone provide protection to delicate internal organs such as the brain and support the body. O, ito na, osteoblast. Kapag sinabing osteoblast, osteo means bone, tapos blast means forming. So we have bone cells are forming of or immature bone cells. Osteoblast. Pero pag sinabing osteocyte, okay, osteocytes, those are already mature cells, mature bone cells. Okay, blood. In blood, this is fluid because of its ECM or the matrix. The plasma is the fluid part, and the blood cells are the solid part. Now, see, erythrocytes, leukocytes, thrombocytes are just the scientific term for red blood cell, white blood cell, and the platelets. Okay? Red blood cells are responsible for what? Sige nga. Red blood cells. Red blood cells are responsible for transporting, okay, transporting oxygen. Again, transporting oxygen. So ang other term for red blood cell is the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. Leukocytes naman leukocytes, white blood cells for immune system. And thrombocytes, platelets. Kapag nasugatan kayo, kapag nag-exert kayo ng pressure doon sa sugat, diba, may mga lalabas na dugo. Okay. So, ibig sabihin niyan, hindi pa totally nako-cover ng mga platelets mo yung open wound. So, si platelets ang responsible for covering the open wound. Those are platelets. Okay, so that is about connective tissue. Ayan. So, those are about, again, in animal tissue, we have epithelial, nervous, muscle, and last is the most abundant, which is connective tissue. Now, let's have the plant tissue. And plant tissues po, ayan, medyo marami siya, pero we're going to focus lang naman yung mga pinakakailangan lang. Ayan, pinakakailangan. Sa plant tissues po, meron tayong dalawang classification. We have meristematic and permanent. Pag sinabing meristematic po, there's a continuous cell division and growth. Pag permanent na po, no longer actively dividing. Start tayo with meristematic. Pag sinabing meristematic, divided. There's a division. Okay? Meristematic. And meristematic, meron tayong sa apical, sa intercalary, and meron tayong sa lateral. Okay? So, start tayo with, okay. Si origin, huwag na tayo mag-focus kay origin, mag-focus tayo sa position. Classification of meristematic based on position. Pero ito si promeristem. They are responsible, promeristem is responsible for primary growth. Primary growth. Okay? And ayan, primary meristems, ayan. And also, secondary meristems responsible for secondary growth. We have the vascular cambium, the cord cambium, ayan. And ayan, so dito tayo sa meristematic in terms of the position, we have apical. When we say apical po, this is located in our, or in the plant's shoot and in the plant's root. Again, shoot yung nasa pinakataas. If you can see or find yung mga plants, lagi silang merong young na tumutubo sa pinakatuktok. So those are called the shoot. Okay, the shoot of the plants. And meron din tayong root apical meristems in which makikita natin siya sa roots, yung pinakang end din ng mga roots. So, apical meristems are responsible for the primary growth. So, pinaka-major function niya is to increase the plant length. The length of the plant. Okay. The length of the plant. Okay. So, this is divided into promeristem and the meristematic zone. Ayan. So, in promeristem, continuously contains actively dividing cells. Tapos sa meristematic naman, meron tayo ding protoderm, procambium, and ground meristem. Okay. So, ayan. So, this is the apical meristem. Ayan. Apical meristem. Tapos ito yung mga young leaves or leaf primordia. Tapos may auxiliary bud. This one. Okay, so this is the leaf primordium, leaf. This is the apical meristem. This is the bud, primordium or auxiliary bud. This is the ground meristem, and this is the procambium. Sana, procambium. Let's just be familiarized. And also this one, sa root naman to. Okay, so this is for the shoot and this for the root. So we have the ground meristem here. Procambium is nasa gitna. Protoderm. Okay. Protoderm. Derm. Okay. And apical meristem dito. Tapos yung root cap, yung pinakang nasa dulo. Meristem tayo. Lateral meristem, ibig sabihin po niya, it is located in the stem and sa roots. Again, located in the stem and sa roots. It is responsible for the thickness of the plant and responsible for the secondary growth. Pag sinabi po nating thickness, we can relate siya sa hips or sa hips ng mga tao. Kasi in lateral meristem po, parang ito yung hips na rin ng mga plants. Okay, responsible for siya for the thickness of the plant. Okay? Yung hips ng plant. Again, yung hips ng plant. Secondary growth. So, types is the vascular cambium and the cork cambium. Si vascular, tandaan nyo yung vascular responsible for the vascular tissue. Pag sinabi po nating vascular tissue, lagi po siyang may transportation. Kasi nandyan po lagi sino? Phloem and si xylem. Pag sinabing xylem, those are for water. Pag sinabing phloem, that is for the food. Okay, that's the food. Now, in cork cambium naman, that's responsible for the protective outer layer or the bark. Si bark po, meron siyang in bark, may mga layers pa po siya. Hindi lang po siya isang layer na meron sa isang, for example, sa woody plants. So, hangga siyang, ito din tinatawag nating if I'm not mistaken, it's premoderm, if I'm not mistaken. Kasi hanggang phylloderm siya, hanggang phylloderm. So, mag-start siya sa cuticle. Cuticle, tapos yung mga layers, cork cambium, ayan. Tapos, hanggang siyang phylloderm. Phylloderm. So, yun yung tinatawag nating bark, which is the periderm. Periderm ba? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's one. So, if you're familiar with cork, ito yung ginagamit na pangtakip sa mga wine. Ginagamit pangtakip sa wine. Okay, so this is the lateral for lateral merisms, this is a vascular cambium. Pag sinabing vascular cambium, again, vascular tissue, xylem, and phloem. Okay, intercalary. Kapag sinabi pong inter, ibig sabihin nasa gitna. So, it is between the nodes. Ito, for example, this is a bamboo. Ayan, this is a bamboo. So, yung intercalary stem po natin is nandito. Kasi nga po, it is in between the nodes. This is the nodes, and this is the nodes. Okay? So, this is helping in the increasing of the length of the internode. So, ito yung internode. This is internode. Internode, intercalary. Okay? Located in the leaves and in the internodes. Located in the leaves and in the internodes. So, ito po siya. This is the apical meristem, intercalary, tapos lateral and meristem sa pinakababa. Pero, tandaan po na sa apical, meron tayo sa shoot, pinakataas, tapos meron tayo sa pinakang dulo ng ating roots, mga ugat. Okay, this is just a comparison para hindi kayo malito, para mas malinaw. Okay po. Alright, so that's about meristematic. Punta tayo sa permanent. Sa permanent po, meron pa rin siyang dalawang types. The simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Ano lang pinagkaiba? Sa simple po, isa lang. Pero kapag complex, halo-halo na po yan. Okay? For example, dito tayo sa, okay, simple tissue muna tayo. Simple tissue, meron tayong parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Ano po ang pinagkaiba-iba nila? In parenchyma, they are living at maturity. Ibig sabihin po, kapag nag-mature po sila, hindi po mawawala ang mga ibang organelles na meron na present. Kasi kapag sinabi nating dead at maturity, ibig sabihin, ang natitira na lang po doon is the cell wall. Again, ang natitira na lang po pag sinabing dead at maturity, ang natitira na lang po doon is the cell wall. Pero pag living at maturity po, even kapag nag-mature na po siya, hindi pa rin mawawala ang organelles. Kaya nga po si parenchyma, this is the site for photosynthesis. Again, photosynthesis. Okay? Again, photosynthesis. This is also for the storage of air and for storage of water and minerals. So, in parenchyma po, meron tayong dalawang types. We have chlorenchyma and arenchyma. Pag sinabing chlorenchyma, di ba yun? Chloro plus chlorophyll. Chloro plus chlorophyll. Ibig sabihin, kapag chlorenchyma, it contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis. Okay? And arenchyma naman po, it gives the buoyancy to the plants to help them float. Buoyancy. Again, buoyancy. Okay, collenchyma, they are also living at maturity. And if parenchyma, Okay, parenchyma is mostly loosely packed, okay, and thin po, pag sabing loosely packed po, may mga spaces in between. Pag naman po collenchyma, they are elongated. Again, elongated. Kaya nga makikita siya in the leaf blades and below the stalks of the below the epidermis. Okay? So they have thicker and more uneven wall than parenchyma. Thicker. Again, thicker. So they're also living at maturity. And sclerenchyma, they are the ones who are dead at maturity. Ibig sabihin po again, ang natitira na lang po sa kanila ang kanilang cell wall. Okay, kanilang cell wall. So the main function of sclerenchyma cells are for the mechanical support and for protection. Okay. So again, ito yung ating mga simple tissue. Okay, simple. Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Pag sinabing complex mo naman po, complex, again, pag complex, ano na yan? It contains one or more cells. Dermal tissue. Dermal. Ibig sabihin, for young plants, we have epidermis. Tapos, for woody plants, we have periderm. Periderm. Okay. Now, in epidermis po, so in epidermis, meron tayong mga features lang. Number 1 dyan is trichomes. Kung may nakakita na kayo ng mga, di ba, mga leaves, kahit hindi lang sa leaves, kahit sa stem mismo, meron siyang mga, para siyang hair-like. Para siyang mga hair talaga ng mga plants. Ang tawag po doon is trichome. Trichome. Nag-help po sila in absorption. Okay, absorption. Nag-help po sila in absorption. Ayan. So this is trichomes, yung mga hair-like na structure. Okay? And meron din tayong stoma, or kapag marami, we call that as stomata. Ayan, ito. Ang stoma natin is yung opening. Pero, itong dalawang to, ang tawag natin dyan is guard cell. Guard cell responsible for opening the stomata. Again, guard cells are responsible for opening the stomata. Okay po, again, responsible for opening the stomata. Okay? So, bakit nag-open ang stomata? Bakit nag-close? For gas exchange. For gas exchange and sa water. Kapag naka-open yan, ibig sabihin, lalabas ang mga water. Okay. Kaya nga, kapag nakakaranas ng intense heat temperature, ang mga plants, mostly ang kanilang mga stoma, okay, ay nakasarado. Kasi, hindi pwedeng mag-remain sila ng open kasi nga po, lalabas yung water. So, ibig sabihin, it will result in the decrease of water supply na meron sa plants. Ibig sabihin, magiging dry. Mamamatay. Okay? Pero, there are some other cases na binubuksan nila kahit mahinit kasi it helps in the cooling, okay? Cooling na nangyayari sa plants. Kasi nga mainit eh. So, kailangan nila mag-cools down. Kaya ino-open nila ang stoma. Pero, kapag remain po yan open talaga, it will not benefit the plant. It will not benefit the plant. Kasi, lalabas yung water. Lalabas yung water. So, may tinatawag tayo dyan, tawag dito, the osmosis. Ayan, nangyayari din po yan sa plant. Okay? So, again, yung feature ng dermal tissue po, we have the sa epidermis, trichomes, yung hair-like extension. Tapos guard cell po, responsible for opening the stomata. Stomata are the tiny hole in the leaves, responsible for the gas exchange at paglabas ng water. Okay? Yan. Okay. And if pag nabanggit yung turgor pressure, pag sinabing turgor pressure po, ibig sabihin, mas marami yung water. Okay, the water is responsible. Tawag doon is hypotonic. Hypotonic. Pag hypotonic, ibig sabihin, nagsuswell ang ating guard cell kasi nga masyadong maraming tubig. Pero pag sinabi naman natin hypertonic, hypertonic, okay? Pag hypertonic naman, ibig sabihin, kulang yung tubig. So, ibig sabihin, nag-shrink. Tapos kapag sinabing isotonic naman, enough lang. So, yung lumalabas tapos yung pumapasok is balance. Okay? Balance. So, hypotonic, target pressure, gustong-gusto yan ng plant. Kasi gustong-gusto ng plant ang maraming tubig because of preparing at hindi naman nila kayang maglakad at kumuha ng lumapit sa mga water sources. Ayan. Vascular tissue, ito yung tinatawag kong, pinasabi kong for transportation. May have xylem and we have phloem. Again, we have xylem and we have phloem. Okay. So in xylem, this is responsible for water. Again, water po ang transport niya po is water. Meron tayong primary xylem and we have also have primary phloem, secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Okay. Ang mas malaki is the xylem. Mas malaki ang xylem kaysa sa phloem. Okay. Now, we also have, kung meron tayong dinadaanan ng tubig, meron tayong dinadaanan ng pagkain, which is the phloem. So, pag pinagsama ang phloem at xylem, ang tawag doon, vascular bundle. Basta tatandaan nyo, kapag vascular, merong transportation na nangyayari. Si vascular, nandyan si phloem, nandyan si xylem. I hope that's clear. Okay, ground tissue, fundamental tissue system. Yun na yung pinag-uusapan natin kaninang parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma as a whole. Okay? As a whole. Pag sinabi nating TS, that's transverse section, pag LS, that is longitudinal section, pero pag sinabi nating XS, that is cross section. Again, TS, kasi inaano na nila tawag dito. Hindi nila sinusulat yung iba. LS, we have LS, tapos we have XS. Again, pag sinabing TS, transverse section. LS, longitudinal section. Tapos, pag XS naman, cross section. So, sa cross section, ito na yung pag hinati, tapos makikita yung pinakagitna. Madediscuss yan sa cell modification kasi ginagamitan ng cross-section. So, kailangan mong hatiin para makita yung pinaka nandun. Ayun lang. So, ayun. So, I hope that you have learned something. Again, pag sinabi nating meristematic, meaning po to divide. Meristematic, meaning po to divide. Tapos permanent, no actively division na nangyayari. Hindi na siya na active in dividing. Kapag apical, again, apical meristem, nasa shoot at nasa root. Pero pag sinabing intercalary, in between the nodes. Pag sinabing internodes, nasa gitna ng mga nodes. Yun ang responsible for primary growth. That is apical. Again, that is apical. Tapos, ang responsible naman for secondary growth, that is lateral. Sino ang responsible sa paglaki ng hips ng mga plants? That is for lateral. Again, lateral. Si intercalary responsible siya sa length. Sa length mismo ng isang plant. Kasi nga, nasa gitna siya. Okay, what else? Again, pag vascular, dalawa yan for transportation. Tama? So that's xylem and that's phloem. Parenchyma, living at maturity. Pag sinabing maturity po, tapos dead maturity, kapag dead maturity, ibig sabihin na nag-mature yung isang cell, nawala yung mga organelles. Ang natira sino? Si cell wall. Again, ang natira si cell wall. Pero pag living at maturity, pag nag-mature siya, remain pa rin as is kung ano ang meron. Again, remain pa rin as is kung ano ang meron. Tapos, pag sinabing parenchyma, there will be an intracellular spaces in between. They are very thin and responsible for may nangyayaring for photosynthesis, especially in chlorenchyma kasi chlorophyll, chloroplast, chlorenchyma. Collenchyma naman, again, elongated, and this is found in the leaf blades, tapos sa stalks that can be seen under or below the epidermis. Function is for flexibility. Sclerenchyma, they are dead at maturity because ang natitira na lang is the cell. Pinaka-function, mechanical support. Yan. Okay, dermal again. Sa epidermis, meron trichomes. Epidermis po yung pinaka-outer layer ng skin, ha? Pag sinabing epidermis, pinaka-outer layer. In our skin, sa atin, in our skin, human skin, meron tayong mga proteins na nandyan sa epidermis. We have the melatonin, keratin, we have na, excuse me, we have the melatoninocyte, tapos keratinocyte. Okay? Pag sa melatonin, responsible for giving us the colors na meron tayo. Ibig sabihin, kapag darker color, mas okay siya kasi it protects in our from the UV, okay, UV lights. Kaya pag nagbabad ka, pag nag-expose ka sa sun, maingitim ka kasi naging active yung melatonin mo. And ayan lang. So, connective tissue again, medyo marami siya. Medyo marami ang connective tissue. So, sana, ayan. So, connective tissue, most abundant, pinakamarami. So, we have two types, proper tapos specialized. Connective tissue proper, we have the loose and dense, specialized cartilage, bone, and blood. Again, si specialized, tawag dito, ang pinakang major dito is the ECM, which determines the characteristic of a connective tissue. Pag cartilage, flexible. Pag bone, hard. Pag blood, liquid plasma. Okay po. So, I hope that's clear. Do you have any questions? Again, xylem, water, phloem, food. Para hindi nyo malito, para hindi kayo malito sa phloem and xylem, ganito gawin nyo. Xylem, wait, erase natin. Okay. Pag xylem, diba, that starts with letter X. Tapos kapag phloem naman, that starts with letter P. So, tatandaan nyo lagi si phloem. Phloem, P, food. Palitan nyo ng P ang food. Oh. So, ibig sabihin, pag P, food, food. Xylem, water. Okay? P, food. Yun lang. Yun ang ginagamit talaga. Para hindi mas malito between xylem and the phloem. Okay? And what else? Ayan. So, I think that's all. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you have learned something from this discussion. And see you around. Goodbye and thank you, students.